dude, I was on a team when we had Ken Griffey Jr. was the best player in baseball at the time. Me, Ken Griffey Jr., then Adam Dunn came, Barry Larkin. I mean, we had some Cooperstown guys on. We had zero pitching. Austin Kearns. We had zero pitching. Zero. And we lost. So I look at the Mets and I go, I know you have Lindor. I know you have Soto. I know Vientos is coming up. You're going to lose Alonso. All this stuff. But I look at it. You got to have a rotation.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom! Coming in hot dishes from the winter meetings, dude, here in Dallas. And it is hot out here, brother.
Holy stromboli, bro. Listen, I'm going to toot our horn a little bit right now, okay? You said like a month ago, 50 million will be the difference. You said it. And I actually said to you, and you kind of were like, what? I said 800 million. And I was kind of close, but you nailed it with the more money. I think the way the Soto deal works, he's making an extra like about $3 million a year with the Mets ahead of the Yankee deal. So let's just start there. Like, well, first of all, just what are your initial thoughts? This is unbelievable. I think it's great for baseball players. I think it's great for the athlete because the NBA guys get their money, soccer guys get their money. This is different, dude. This changes the entire stratosphere.
Well, it just shows you last year because you look at the contracts now in Major League Baseball. I don't know if you can pull those up, Chinch, the top 10 contracts, because it's like when Ohtani signed for $700 million last year, it was like, okay, well, no one's going to get there because the next closest guy is like Mike Trout at $425 million or something like that. So like, there's such a discrepancy there. It's 300-some million. So whenever Soto comes, he'll be back down to maybe 5, maybe like because I remember at the beginning of this offseason, we're like, it's going to be 5.
Right.
Then you're like, oh, it might be 6. It was almost 8. As a matter of fact, if you look at the deal, bro, it's 5 years. It's an opt-out after 5 years.
Right.
And that means then they have to bump the AAV up like to $55 million. So really,
it's just unbelievable.
So if they do pick that up, the deal really is 15 years, $805 million is what it.
Oh my goodness! So here's your numbers. Soto's got 765. Next is Ohtani with 700, and we talked about this too. It's supply and demand. Ohtani is more dynamic. Ohtani, when they gave him 700, you're like, okay, you're paying for 2 guys, kind of thing.
Pitcher. You're paying for 2 guys. You can justify. You can justify it. That's what I'm saying.
There's almost no justification. So let's do this. Number 1 is Juan Soto, 15,765. The next straight up position player is Aaron Judge, who you say is better than Juan Soto, and I think he's better than Juan Soto, to be honest.
Aaron Judge is the best. Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball.
9 years, 360. So he is. Oh my goodness, he's what, 400 million less?
Yeah.
For Aaron Judge, he's a bargain.
and dude, remember this is 2 years ago. The Yankees
Bryce Harper, 13. Wait, hold on. Let me read these for you first because you asked. 13,330 for Harper. Seager of the Rangers is 10 for 325. Then it's a tie. Yamamoto's got 12 for 325. And I don't know why they call this a tie, but I guess the numbers are the same. Garrett Cole is 9 for 324. Anyway.
Well, I guess the question is, these are I think you're talking about generational talents. You got Ohtani, generational last year. Judge, generational 2 years ago. Dude, the Yankees almost walked away from Aaron Judge for 9 for 360. That would have been the biggest drop the ball in baseball history if that happened. Seriously, dude. Dude, kudos to the Yankees, though, dude. They put up 16. They offered 16 years, $760 million. I have to say, this is my one thought on it. My one thought on it is I just felt like it was a perfect fit for Juan Soto with the Yankees. It looked good in the pinstripes, judging him 2 and 3. You know, the whole righty-lefty combo that the Yankees have had throughout history, legacy. But I think at the end of the day, it was a huge message by Stevie Cohen just to say, you know what, the new George Steinbrenner's in town. All these years, all these teams have been like, well, we can't compete with the Yankees because Steinbrenner's willing to pay the money. I think you're going to start seeing the changing of the guard with Stevie Cohen saying, "Hey, we're the Mets now. I'm the new George Steinbrenner in this generation, and if the best players out there, I'm going to go $50 million above any bid to get it." Now, here's the deal: not everybody's motivated by money. Now, I actually think Aaron Judge probably could have got more had he stayed in that. Had he gone back to San Francisco and said, "Hey, listen, the Yankees have matched 9 for 360. I want 9 for 440 or 9 for 420." I bet you the Giants would have taken it. But at the end of the day, Aaron Judge wanted to be a Yankee. Aaron Judge wanted to be the captain. He was drafted by the Yankees. So it's a little different situation with Juan Soto, who was only there for 1 year. He didn't have the same loyalty that Judge had. So it's just so many moving parts here. And at the end of the day, bro, Chinch, Juan Soto took the money. He felt like the respect was from Stevie Cohen, and he thought, you know what? This guy is willing to give me exactly what I want and way more. Thank you very much. I'm going to the highest bidder.
I agree. And in a lot of ways, it's funny. It's so great being a New Yorker right now. And it's even funnier because obviously my wife is works for the Mets, is a Mets fan. I grew up a Yankee fan. So I'm happy on both fronts in a weird way. I'm actually kind of happy for the Yankees, but I'll get into that a little later. But at the end of the day, I don't think the Yankees lost. I don't think the Red Sox lost. I don't think the Dodgers lost. They offered $600 million to a guy. That would have almost doubled the Aaron Judge thing. So I don't think those teams lost. I think what you're saying is exactly right. Steve Cohen won. We are now, I was talking with Jess about this last night. I'm like, Jess, you have this franchise has now become a baller franchise. Even in the 80s, dude, the 86 Mets, they just had great guys that came up through their system for the most part. This is the Mets saying, no. We are the Dodgers. We are the Lakers. We are the Cubs. We are the Chicago Bulls. And back at it, we are put my foot down. We are a franchise. We are a business that is here to beat everybody. That's a special thing. And the Mets have never had that. Don't forget, they came in 1962, right? Because the other teams left. And most Mets fans came up because their grandparents got their hearts broken from the Dodgers moving to LA or the Giants moving to San Francisco. And they were always second city.
Right.
Steve Cohen just put his foot down and says we're not second city anymore. And it's a fascinating thing for New York sports and sports in general. I think it's great overall. I don't know how great it is for one human being to be paid that much money.
Is that the case though? Man, it's like that everywhere. Go look at the NBA salaries, dude. Go look what these guys make. Listen, we live in the greatest country in the world, bro. This is the reason why. It's freedom. You should be able to make what you make. The market says, and at the end of the day, he's one of the better players again. I still don't think he's the best hitter. I think Judge is, but Soto is no doubt right there, dude. I thought it was great. I saw an interview with Stevie Cohen. I thought this was pretty cool. And if I was an owner, I would try to look at it like this. And sometimes there's some owners out there where you look at it, you're like, dude, I think there's a civic responsibility. I do agree with this. As an owner of a club, there are so many millions of fans for each club. If you're going to be an owner, you owe it to the fans to go all in. Now, I'm not saying Stevie Cohen, you have to go that, but you have to put money into your club and put a good team on the field. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And Stevie Cohen said something like, hey, listen, I do look at this as a civic responsibility. Who would not want to make millions of people, fans, happy for their team?
I have it. I think you might have seen it from my Twitter account. You want to hear this?
Yeah.
Let me play this. Good. I think this is probably what you're talking about because this was on CNBC. It was like a business.
Yeah.
Okay. This is probably it. Let me play it. Let's see what happens. Hold on.
Ring. How many years do you think it will take you to get there? How much will it cost?
Well, I don't care about the cost side. I mean, I think over time,
But do you think you don't think about this as philanthropic, do you?
I do.
You do.
That's why I bought the team. Okay, well, that's exactly why I bought the team. And you know, I said in my original press conference, if I can make millions of people happy, how cool is that? And so I actually view it as a civic responsibility.
You want a ring.
Is that what
That's
you're
what
talking
I
about?
saw. That's what I saw,
Right?
dude.
You know, it changed my whole opinion of him.
Me too.
It was very cool.
I thought it was really cool. And dude, you're right, man. You know how many people live and die to come home from their jobs, to get away, to escape, to watch a Mets game every single night, or
Need
Yankee,
it.
whoever you are. You know, Pirates. I think that's why the Pirates struggle sometimes. They're like, come on, man, we're such a storied franchise. We want to lock in, and we want to have a good product on the field. But you look at the Mets, you're like, hey, congratulations to the Mets fans. They have an owner that looks at it through the lens of this is for you guys.
Of human beings.
We're all in this together, man. I'm a Mets fan growing up. I want to be, I want to see them do well too. I'm just fortunate enough to be the vessel to have the money to deliver the product onto the field that we all can sit and enjoy. And dude, they were 2 games away from going to the World Series last year. They're right there,
Dude.
So
They might have been the second best team in baseball. If you really look at it, the National League was a much more difficult trip to the World Series for the Dodgers than the American League was for the Yankees.
No doubt.
The Mets may have actually been better than the Yankees last year. I hate to say that, but it's possible. And now you got the Yankees' second best player. And they're not done, dude. Apparently they're not done. First of all, you got to sign Manaea.
you got to get.
I don't care what
you got to. But now Manaea and these guys that now you see Soto there. Oh, I'm in. See, that's how you bring more guys.
Yeah.
That's how you bring more
the
guys.
guys are going to want to go play for them.
Yes.
You say you would, right?
Oh, kidding me?
I want to play with
100%,
Juan
dude.
Soto.
100%.
They're all in. Yeah, it's almost like when Cuban bought the Mavericks and he just redid the entire franchise and gave them a really great locker room and all that kind of stuff. That's why guys were signing with there. And back to your basketball point, dude. I bet the backup center for like the Cleveland Cavaliers right now is making more money on whatever contract he has than you did in your entire career.
Right.
And now the baseball players can say, put us in this book. Like, we make your money. That baseball's thriving. It's great. It's a great sport right now. The ratings are great. So why not just go nuts? Pay everybody, make a lot of money. Everybody make money. Everybody be happy, and fans will go to the games.
Also, too, Chinch, I mean, I think the one thing, though, that you have to look at, a lot of times, though, in the industries, you have, you have the guys making a ton of money, and then you have the people that aren't making, you just want the middle class to still make money in this industry. I think that's a big thing. I think the biggest thing with Juan Soto, he's 26, dude. He's 26. The numbers that he's put up in these last 6-7 years, never below 400 on base percentage. He walks more than he strikes out. He's averaging 25 homers, 125 walks a year. The at-bats he puts together are just incredible. So
the historical comp is Ted Williams, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Ted Williams,
that's pretty good.
Aaron numbers. I mean, they're pretty historical numbers these first few years.
Yeah. So, well, all right. Well, what do you?
But I think the biggest thing, though, like you said, dude, I was on a team when we had Ken Griffey Jr. was the best player in baseball at the time. Me, Ken Griffey Jr., then Adam Dunn came, Barry Larkin. I mean, we had some Cooperstown guys on. We had zero pitching, dude. Austin Kearns. We had zero pitching. Zero. And we lost. So right. I look at the Mets and I go, I know you have Lindor. I know you have Soto. I know Vientos is coming up. You're going to lose Alonso, all this stuff. But I look at it, you got to have a rotation. I mean, you got to be loaded. You can't be like, oh, this is a couple nice pieces. No, you got to be loaded. You want to win the whole thing? You better be loaded. Why do you think the Dodgers continue to go get?
Yeah. The Dodgers needed 12 pitchers to get to the World Series. Yes, you're right.
Went got Glasnow last year. Blake Snell. They're like, oh, Glasnow, give us 100 innings. Snell, give us one. They don't care if you give them 200 innings, but you need to be dominant throughout parts of the year. So the Mets need to go get Manaea. They need to still lock down some pitching. There's no doubt about it.
Well, what's also is my last point, which is very fascinating, is within 15 miles, right? Citi Field and Yankee Stadium, we are going to see in real time this exact conversation. Now, Steve Cohen could go spend more money and just destroy the luxury tax, whatever. But the Yankees have $760 million that they're not using now that they were going to use on one guy. So it will be very interesting to see let's say the Yankees get 2 top flight starters and fill either first or third base with like a really big time player like a Bregman, Alonso, one of those guys, right? And are those 3 guys, does that collective salary, is that better than having the Juan Soto salary? Now, so many other things are going to go into this, but we are going to literally see. And if you're telling me Steinbrenner and Cashman aren't sitting down right now, locked in on these next 2 days, they are.
Dude, I tried to get breakfast with Booney this morning. I got crickets back. I'm like, dude, you grab breakfast? He's like, no, I'm meeting with Alan Cashman right now.
Yeah, there you go, dude. I'm telling you, that franchise right now. Oh my God, you can't lose the back page in New York. It's a thing. It's a thing for these franchises.
Well, dude,
they got to get back on the back page. They're not going to match what. So the Soto move. This is an all-timer move, like an all-timer top 5 deals in the history of baseball.
All in for dude, right. Something swung on this with this move as far as the power goes in New York City.
It's the Mets and the Dodgers, and then it's the other teams that made the playoffs last year. Right now,
offer $760.
Exactly. So they didn't fail. That's what
I'm saying. It was about the money. It wasn't about I thought we get that 760 number that Soto would have gone. You know what? I'll take it. Back to the pinstripes.
Yankees fans, March, dude. I'm gonna go to Yankee Stadium. I want to see it. Or May, dude. May. Can you? Oh my God, dudes are burning their Soto jerseys. They're burning Yankee Soto jerseys. I sent you one clip. I can't play this on the air because there are so many curses.
Yankee fans are nuts. No matter if Soto is there.
Everybody's nuts. No, but did you see the Yankee fan outside of Citi Field last night? He's standing outside of Citi Field at like 11:30 at night in the dark, and he goes, he just rips the stadium and he points across the street. And it is funny because in that area of Queens there are a lot of chop shops, and he's going, this is where your car's going to be. They're going to be ripping up your new Bentleys, dude. And you're going to be in the chop shops. Like people are losing their minds over this on both sides. Because then there's a Met fans who are like dancing around the city today. It's
well,
unbelievable.
If you're a Yankee fan, you have to be at least happy they were all in. They were. It wasn't 600. But remember when Pujols went to the Angels? Angels had it at. It's just so funny now. Think about these numbers, Chinch. The Angels had it at 240, and the Cardinals had it at 200. And they're like 240 million, 40 million. Like,
and now Soto could pay both of those guys to play on his team.
Soto could buy. I mean, they should have just given him a ownership stake in the Mets.
What's the first thing you buy, Sean? I said this. This is a horrible thing to say, but if somebody gave me $765 million when I was 26 years old, I would not live till my 27th birthday.
Hopefully,
I don't know how I can handle that. Yes. What's the first thing you buy? D-Rose said a great thing. He goes, a jet. You have that much money now. Oh, let's get my own jet now.
That would be like a 747, dude. Not like the little.
Yeah. And hire John Travolta to be your pilot. You have that much money now. It's unbelievable. Oh man. All right. Well, good day for baseball. And we haven't even scratched the surface. There's so much else.
I'm going on at 4:00 today on MLB Tonight, so it'll be fun. I'm sure more
4
stuff will happen.
Who's your crew?
I'm on with Adnan and Verdugo.
Do you know yet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fun one.
I'm doing a little breakdown on Soto, breakdown on Alonso. You know one thing about Pete Alonso, dude? The best ability sometimes is availability, right? He plays 162 games, dude. Don't forget that. So you're like, he hit 34 homers. He played 162 games. He's reliable. He shows up. Like, can you imagine if Alonso and Soto switch places?
I'd be super cool, dude. And I think, like I said, the little personal thing in the city, I almost think they're probably going to be, because he does have like Yankee type. He plays almost type like a Yankee. Like, he does strike out, but like, he does try to get on base and he hits bombs. And they're going to need to replace some of those things. And it's almost like, well, we got to get him anyway, just because we're going to trade places and put ourselves back on the back page again. It's interesting. Oh man, try to get lunch with Booney at least. Get something. Try to get a meal with
Booney. I'm gonna try and go somewhere. I haven't been down there yet, dude. There's so many people like in the baseball industry here. Like,
it looks bananas.
And as soon as I get talking, I'm like, oh boy, I'm like, Got my hat and
Why?
glass on. I look like Clark Kent right now.
Yeah, no, you got to cover up because every like minor league scout that ever even knew you in your life is probably going to stop you in a hallway. And it's going to be like 20-minute conversations to everywhere you go. Because Sean says yes, folks. If you see Sean, if you're at the winter meetings today and you see Sean and you say hi to him, he's actually going to talk to you for 15 minutes. Because he's that nice of a guy. So please try to leave him alone and let him get to at least the mobile park studio so he can prep for the show. Because he's too nice to say no to you.
No, dude, I tell you the truth. I already saw a couple people last night in the lobby. It was great to see a few people. This is where you could turn back the clock. A lot of people you play with in the minors. You know, everyone's here, dude. So.
Dude, it's crazy. It's great. Winter meetings is one of my favorite things. Plus, you got like minor league teams there, and people are selling different types of bats. It's like it is one of the coolest experiences, and MLB Network does it better than anybody else. So everybody, go watch the network today. Put it on right now and just leave it in the background because they're just nonstop. It's nonstop. It's great producers, great people there.
Action, so. All right,
get after it.
Love
all
it,
right.
bro. Have a great rest of the day. Everyone out there, tune into the network, tune into us all week in the winter meetings. We'll be locking in. All right,
Banking it out. All right, see you.